Hello everyone! In this episode, I will try to cover another favorite game from the 90s that again I used to play a lot as a kid. Crystal Caves. Crystal Caves is a side-scrolling platform game developed and published by Apogee Software in 1991. The game is split into 3 episodes: Troubles and Twibbles, Slugging It Out, and Mylo Versus the Supernova. And as usual for Apogee games of that era, the first episode is available for free, while the other 2 episodes need to be paid for. In Crystal Caves, you play as Mylo, a chubby, blonde guy with a pink outfit and a mining helmet, with an endless appetite for money in the form of crystals. In each episode, Mylo wants to collect crystals in order to sell them in the galactic market, and with those cash, he tries to open a new business each time, which conveniently enough always fail, so he tries in the next episode again to collect new crystals from scratch in order to fund his new business plans. And that's the story, which is more of an excuse to collect space crystals in the so-called Crystal Caves. At least there is a story, and those intro cinematics and ending screens are kinda sweet and surprising to be there in such an old game. The game is a very solid side-scroller with a lot of puzzle elements. Another cool thing is that you can choose which stage to play in the main stage menu, though you have to be careful in episode 3's stage menu, because you have to leave the left side stages for last, otherwise you will stuck and only by resetting or loading the game you can continue further. I'm not sure if that was made on purpose by the developers or by mistake. Mylo also has a rocket-throwing weapon to defend himself against enemies like pink Koubras, aliens, etc. But you have limited ammunition and you have to be careful not to shoot the oxygen supply with your gun. Each stage has a lot of traps, puzzles and cleverly placed enemies to keep you on your toes. Hopefully in Crystal Caves you have unlimited lives, so you can fail horribly, and you will, until you figure out how to win the level. The goal is always the same: to collect all the crystals in order to leave the individual area and pick the next level until you finish all the stages and you get your sweet and goofy end screen in each episode. Sadly, in terms of visuals, you don't get anything new in each episode. Cave backgrounds, some industrial sprites, even Super Mario-like stages stay the same in all 3 episodes. The difficulty though scales up a bit. The game is also very colorful and has a unique visual representation, and the sprites are well made and clear. You can tell the difference between enemies, and most importantly, you can understand what thing each sprite represents. The mushrooms look like mushrooms, the dinosaurs look like dinosaurs, etc. Also, Mylo's animations, like movement and jumping, are nice and well made for an early 90s game. If you really like side-scrollers and you really want to try 90s games, I highly recommend Crystal Caves if you haven't played it already, because it's a nice and really memorable game. In my opinion though, it's more worth it to get the shareware version first, which is free, with the episode 1, and if you want more Crystal Caves stages, you can get the other 2 episodes on sales. Keep in mind that each episode has 16 stages. I'll post the links in the description. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next Let's Talk About Old School Video Games episode. Take care, and remember, winners don't use drugs.